Hello, and welcome to the For Her Empire podcast. I'm your host, Abby Malcha, and in this podcast, we address the personal and the business issues that female entrepreneurs face in their day-to-day lives. My guest today is the lovely Annie White. Hi, Annie.
Hi.
Okay, so Annie is a mom entrepreneur, and she's the owner of NaturalAnnie Essentials. And
Yes.
yes. And today we're gonna talk about what it's like, being a mom and actually owning your own business. Because I'm assuming when you own your own business, it's not like you have like a 9 to 5 fixed hours. You pretty much work whenever. Yeah,
Pretty much all the time.
yeah. So just tell us a bit more about you and about Natural Annie and how you got into this.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure speaking with you. And I like the break. This is actually like break time for me away from work and kids, so this is good. So my name is Annie, owner of NaturalAnnie Essentials. We are a lifestyle soy candle company. So the corporate business is where we create hand-poured soy candles for our customers, bringing a bit of scented joy to their lives. Our candles are fun. They make a great piece of home decor. We have collections that are funny, motivating. So persons are really drawn to our labels, as it's not just a candle for them, but something they look forward to either, with decorating their homes or as an inspiration for them, throughout their daily lives.
Yeah. Okay. Now a bit more about Annie, not the business.
Annie. So I started, well, I'm Jamaican by birth. I moved here. Hey.
I'm
I
Nigerian,
moved.
but okay.
Hello. I moved here when I was about 18. I did the whole school bit back in Jamaica. I did, college and stuff, and I, continued that when I got here. Um, I have a master's in the industrial organizational psychology, but worked in IT when I graduated. Had nothing to do with what I went to school for. But IT was always something that I enjoyed even since high school. So it was a sweet spot for me. Um, and then I worked that job for about 6 years until I had my first daughter. Um, and she was actually the inspiration behind the entire company and me starting a company and finding what I enjoy doing. So Tiffany, my first daughter, was born in 2014. Wow, that seems so long ago now. In 2014. And unexpectedly, she was born with spina bifida and hydrocephalus. So that's a condition where the spine doesn't fully meet.
Oh,
So
goodness.
as a result of that, we had to, as she was born, like 4 hours after, she was moved immediately into surgery to get that corrected. So it was, I don't even know what to call it. It was a very rough patch for all
Yeah.
of us. So, however, we came out, and about a month after we got home, her skin started to break up because of all the medication that she was on. And being from Jamaica, we were used to, our roots are natural herbs and butters and stuff. I grew up with my grandparents. That's what they used on me for every and anything. So when the prescribed medication that we were using weren't working, we went back to kind of what we were familiar with. Started mixing the oils, mixing the butters, shea butter, cocoa butter, all the butters,
Yeah.
and essential oils. Yeah, those were like our go-to. And it was a period of time too when there was kind of a shift in products where most people were going back to like natural products. So we really got into that, and after we started blending products, that's where we started to see some really good results on our skin. So that motivated me to start making everything around the house now. I'm making bathroom cleaners, floor cleaners, everything was, I was starting to throw out all the bleach and all the toxic stuff and just making everything with essential oils. I got into it so deep that I went back to school and I studied to be an aromatherapist because I was using all these oils and I wanted to be sure I was using them
Yes.
the right way with the right portions. And, because as much as they're all natural and safe, if you don't use the right portions, it can still be harmful. So I wanted to get that out of the way and make sure that we were all set in that area. um, I then started making products for my friends and family. They started trying it out. They were loving it, and so I was encouraged to start a business, with the
Yeah.
products, which I later did. So that's where NaturalAnnie Essentials actually started. I then opened an Etsy shop. We got some traction there, and about a year later into it, we launched our own website and just started building on that and growing from there to kind of where we are today.
Is she okay? How is she now? I'm still waiting for that.
She's great. She is no Tiffany is great now. You couldn't tell that this was a child that was born with spinal bifida with all the issues that she had as a baby. So we have been really blessed. She's spectacular. She may just burst through this door any minute now too. But yeah, she's great. She's great.
Okay. Okay. So making for your friends and family and then making for like the general public, the number of quality, the quantity of products you're making has to go up, and then the
Hmm.
quality of it, because if your friends and family, even if it doesn't quite meet that quality, they would not complain. But for the
No.
public, people complain about every single thing. So you had to make sure you're
Yes.
making a lot and like high quality. That's changed. How
Yeah.
was it?
And that's kind of what was one of the push to become certified, because when you have that, you have a better knowledge of what to use and what the laws around using these oils and natural products are. And the good thing is that we started out a small batch, and we're still small batch, so we're not making huge quantities at a time. um, so that still preserves the quality of our products, in that we do take the care that it requires, and the ingredients that we're using, all these things do take time, research, and just testing and stuff like that. So it helped us in that we have kept it small batch, and that kind of eliminate a lot of those issues.
Yeah. And then the storage. So you store it in the apartment, the house, or in a warehouse somewhere.
Well, so I started in my kitchen, like
Okay.
most like most entrepreneurs. We started in my kitchen, and then we started to grow to a point where we could no longer keep the products in our kitchen. I remember my husband coming in one day and he said, okay, this is too much, because it was just we had stuff everywhere. So I moved from the kitchen to my basement. We have a large basement, so I was able to fully produce there and ship from there. Um, and then we kept on growing. So in addition to using the basement, now today we are using both the basement, the garage, and we have another room in the house that we're using. So the house is really like our manufacturing studio right
Yeah,
now.
it is.
Um, it's everywhere. I feel like we only rent a room to sleep here at night. It's wild. But with all the growth that's happening, that's our next step, to get out of the house and get a manufacturing space.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. And because you keep saying we, so I'm assuming you and your husband work on the Natural Annie together.
Yes, so I am the driving force, but I can't do all of this by myself. So my
Yeah,
husband helps out, my family helps out right now. We have since COVID, we have been swamped. Thankfully, it's a great problem to have, but we've been swamped
yeah.
where now we're pulling in all the help we could get. So my family is here. My mom, currently, as I'm speaking to you, she's pouring candles right now. My dad comes in the evening. My mom's friend comes around noon, and then I have
Whoa.
another friend that comes in. So
Nice.
everybody's kind of pitching in and
Ah.
making this all work. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Mm. So like quite ignorant at candle making and all of that. And I'm assuming like to make a candle you need like a cold space or somewhere warm would make it melt something.
Not necessarily. You just have to make sure you have like steady room temperature, because the temperature does, take effect on the candle itself. Because and this is something I had to learn, the hard way as I grew in this business, because
Yeah.
I mean, nobody goes to school for candle making, so you kind of learn this thing as you
There might be. You
as you
don't know.
go. I think the way things are looking right now, there may be pretty soon. Who knows? But we keep everything at room temperature. We melt our waxes. They come in flake forms, and we melt them down, and then we pour. When it's during like the winter months, they harden much faster. Right now, it takes a longer time just because it's so hot.
Yeah.
But that's a given. We just make sure we have the temperature as steady as possible.
Okay. And so now that it seems like candle making takes a lot of effort, given that your entire family is helping you with this and COVID. So how are you juggling that and the kids learning?
Yeah. It's a lot, and I tell you, it was a big struggle. I have never been happier for a summer break in my entire life, because we had to do the whole homeschool bit, which
Yeah.
was totally new for me. My patience level was tested on so many levels. It was unbelievable, because Tiffany is 5, so she's in kindergarten, thankfully. So it was a matter of kind of keeping her on track with all the things that she had to do, and she has zero patience for it too, because I'm not her teacher. She's not used to mommy being teacher.
Yes.
And then she'll go, well, mommy, this is not how Miss So and So does it.
Okay,
Like,
excuse
I
me.
know. Excuse me, my dear. I don't want to do this either. But it was tough. It was really tough. And for me, I try to find humor or the good in everything that I do. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we did during like that rough patch of COVID, where we were just all trying to get used to it. One day I remember just saying like, this is, I don't know if I'm able to do this. This is tough. I remember one week we were still backed up on all the schoolwork. It was already Friday, and we haven't completed like the coursework for Monday. I'm like, oh
boy.
goodness, mommy's failing over here.
Yeah, she is.
So I had that thought. I'm like, oh, that's like, I mean, I couldn't be the only mom right now failing at this thing. So I put it out there on my Instagram, homeschool fail. I am not doing great at homeschooling. And then I had all the moms, they kind of commenting on the post, like, yeah, girl, you're not alone. I'm like, okay, this feels better.
It's not solved though. The problem is still there. You still have assignments to get done.
Yeah, I still don't know why kindergarten kids have always so many assignments, but we eventually made it through. My husband chipped in a lot. He has way more patience than I do. So we were able to make it to the end of the school year, but it was rough. It was rough.
I know we should be clapping right now.
I feel like we should.
That was like expected of you, but at least you did your best.
Yes, I did. I feel like I need a certificate for completing this.
One semester, really?
Yeah. Oh God. Kudos to all the teachers out there. Jeez, they deserve it.
And so now my question now is, Tiffany is 5, and the house is technically the factory. So are there like safety concerns when she's playing around and you're like making your candles in the same place? Like,
well, yeah, and there's always that concern, but we do. So we have the pouring takes place in the garage, so their access to the garage is very limited. Except especially when we're pouring, because it's hot wax, we don't want them around that.
Yes.
But they're usually out there with us if we're like wicking jars, labeling jars, and stuff like that. But when it comes to anything heated, anything that will potentially injure them or them getting into stuff to harm themselves, we kind of draw the line as to what they can access and whatnot.
Okay. You've mentioned like wicking and pouring and all that. Like, how exactly, like, okay, just like, what exactly is this? I'm assuming pouring is like pouring melted wax into a bottle.
Yeah, but okay, so how the candle process is so we get our jars, all empty jars. We get the wick everything comes separate. Wax, jars, fragrances, everything comes separate. So the process is, so we wick the jars. That's actually the wick is that thing in the center of the
That
candle that
tiny
you
rope
light.
thingy.
That rope thingy, that's the thing, that's the wick. At the bottom of that tiny rope thingy is it has a little base where we then have to attach a wick sticker to it, so that holds the wick down inside of the jar.
Oh.
So then, and that's like a separate piece that comes to it. So we have to strip that, add it to the wick, and then get it into the jars, center it into the jar. And then we melt the wax and, blend it with the fragrances. Then we pour into the jar. So it sounds simple, but it's a lot of steps to candle making, and it's a lot of testing, and it's,
What are you
it's
testing?
a,
What are you testing?
we have to test each candle to make sure that, one, it burns correctly. If you're using the wrong wick sizes, I mean, all wicks do kind of look the same, but they're all different sizes. So you have to make sure we're using the right wick sizes to get the right burn. We have to make sure that the wax is cooled at a certain temperature, so that the heat of the wax doesn't burn off the fragrance before it hits the jar. So when it
Okay.
gets to you, you can still enjoy, your scented candle. So yeah, it's a lot of steps to get to it. So that's why we do a lot of testing to make sure, it's burning the right way, it's smelling the right way.
Okay. Like, the question is this. So, like, I get that what Tiffany was reacting to, like, the medication, which is understandable.
Hmm.
Yeah, and then so we have to like switch back to the African, well, not African, Jamaican, sort of
Yeah,
oil and all of that. So, how did you go from like shea butter, cocoa butter to like boom candles?
candles.
Like,
So yeah,
how do you jump there?
it was a big switch. So for years we did bath and body and skincare, and it was at a point we did a lot of pop-up shops as a way to market our products and to sell our products. So it was at one shop, one market we did in Brooklyn, and we had a lot of customers asking if we had matching scents of the, say, like the body butter. Do you have this body butter in a candle, or do you have this body oil in a candle? I would definitely love this in a candle. So it was that very market that led us to start, making candles. And my husband was there with me too, and he was getting a lot of these questions. And on our way back home, he was like, everybody was asking for candles. Maybe that's something you should add
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
line. I mean, at this point, we had like 10 products. I'm like, I don't want to add another thing to my
yeah.
plate because this is going to be a lot of work.
Yes.
But we looked into it. Then we tested. That very same night we bought a candle making kit, and then we tried it. And when we finally, thought we were somewhat ready to introduce it to our audience, we did, and it blew out the waters. We got a response that we weren't expecting, really,
Mm.
because we were totally new to this space, but people loved it, and we kept on bringing it. So, but it was about 2 years ago, we noticed that we were selling way more
Candles.
candles than skincare products. So that's kind of what led to us kind of making that switch.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm just happy that you made the candle after there was like a very heavy demand for it. Not like the
Yeah.
10 you already had with like zero demand starting from there. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So like bath and body, you mean like soap and bubble baths?
We
Was it?
did we did primarily body washes, body wash, body oils, and a body butter. We also had a face oil, a face butter. We did lip balms, face scrubs, essential
A
things
lot
that
of
you would
stuff.
use a lot of stuff on a daily basis for your skin. And it was hard kind of keeping up too with all those products, because these are all different ingredients,
Yeah.
and the prices of essential oils kept on going up tremendously. So we were at that point where we had to make the decision of which one, we really manage to go forward with.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So
Yeah.
you said after you came back from Brooklyn, from the Brooklyn market, you and your
Yeah,
husband realized that there was like demand for candles, and then you bought the
yeah.
candle making kits. How did your first attempt come out? Tell
It
me
was
about it.
terrible.
I know. Tell me about
It
it.
was terrible. So we got the kit off Amazon, knowing nothing
Oh
about it.
boy.
And I was like, okay, let's just try this. And we literally tried it in the kitchen to see how it would come out. So the first candle that we made, the top looked all sorts of funny. I'm like, why are there so many holes in the top of this candle? It didn't smell like anything. It didn't burn well. There was a whole lot of tunneling in the candle. So when we were burning, it would just burn all the way down the middle, and then all the wax was still around the jar. So I'm like, oh my God, this is so much harder than it looked online.
Oh my god. You got like
I'm like, what is this? This is not what I, envisioned the
oh
candle to
wow.
look like. But we kept at it. I must say, we spent a lot of money just trying to test it and finding the right one, and it took time. I feel like even when we did get to like a safe zone and we released it, it still wasn't burning how I would want it to, because I still didn't feel like we were getting the hot throw. The scent wasn't, spreading the way we would like it to. We didn't want it to be overpowering, but you still, if you're buying a scented candle, I would think I would want to smell the thing,
Yeah,
right?
that's the entire
So I
point.
wanted to be, yeah, at some point. So so that wasn't happening all that great. So we kept working on it. I did a lot of surveys to my customers, because sometimes customers, they don't want to bash you, and it's not, a lot of times I say to people, tell me the truth, like, I need to make this better for you. So if
Okay.
you're not smelling it,
Just
tell
tell
me
it to
you're
my
not
face.
smelling it. Yeah, so I can make it smell, I can keep working on it so you can get what you paid for. um, so I had a few customers who did, they did say, okay, we're not smelling it, it's not burning right, stuff like that. So we kept on working on it, and that's really how we got to perfect it, to where it's at today. We kept on asking for feedback on our customers. They gave it to us, and we kind of worked on it from there.
Okay, okay. And you started this while Tiffany was like 3 years, right?
Yeah, Tiffany was still pretty young. She was still pretty young
Yeah,
while
so
we were
like
doing all of this.
yeah, how
And
did that go out?
it was rough, because I was still also working my full-time job at
Oh,
the time. Yeah, I was working my job during the day. She was in daycare during the day when I was at work, and then I would come home, spend time with the family, and once everybody was kind of settled in and they were off to bed, then I would start, working on my business at night. So my days have been pretty long.
wow. You probably wouldn't sleep in that well.
Not really.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't sleep in that well. Oh my god. And
No, no, not at all. Not at all.
sweet. So it's after, and I know we keep jumping like this way, but like after Tiffany's surgery and then the share better, what was the doctor's reaction to you using an unprescribed, because they did not prescribe it on her?
Yeah.
How did they take that?
They were pretty impressed that it did work,
Oh,
but from a medical standpoint, they could not say, okay, we're going to recommend this. They couldn't recommend something like that, and
yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's
It's
one of the
risky.
tricky things too. It's very risky, and that's one of the tricky things too with working with essential oils. You cannot make a medical claim. So even if you can't sleep and you use lavender oil, you can't outright say, okay, lavender helped me to sleep. Kind of, for them, it's like making medical claims that this is doing, XYZ. So
Mm.
that was one of the tricky things with working with essential oils. But yeah, they were pretty impressed that her skin was really clearing up.
So happy for her.
She's a trooper, I tell you. That
Yeah,
girl is
like
a trooper.
we got like a happy ever ending right now.
Yes, yes. That's my baby.
It's so your husband also works with Natural Annie, or he has his own business or his own full time job?
My husband works full time. He helps me. whenever is here. Yeah.
Oh, but you still have the full-time job, or now you're all natural
No.
Annie?
Yeah. So I left my full-time job about 2 years now. So this is all natural any night and day, right around the clock.
Oh, oh, huh. No, I'm just like picturing, like he comes back from work, and then helps you with natural Annie, and then both of you wrestle Tiffany to do her assignments.
It's
Is this still working even in the COVID period, or he's still
yeah.
working from home?
Well, he was off for about 2 months, so thankfully he was, so he could really pick up a lot with like homeschooling.
Yeah.
But he's back. He's back now, so it's just a matter of scheduling and making sure that she gets that school time in as much as she can. I also do have family members around me. I live
Oh,
really close by to my parents, so they're always here, and they help me out with the kids a lot too.
okay. So
So it's
like,
really a whole village. We're all here plugging in, doing something. I there's no way I could possibly do all the things I do by myself.
oh, it's nice that not only are they
Yeah.
helping you out with the business, they're also helping you out, watching Tiffany and making sure she does her
Yeah.
assignments.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yes. And I have two girls now, so we have a full plate. So Tiffany's
Oh,
5, about to be 6, and I have Thalia. She's about to be 3. So yeah,
so tiny.
they keep us mighty busy.
Oh yeah, so tiny.
They keep us busy.
So what's like
Yeah.
your day to day like then? Like you have to like watch the kids and then still do your business. Especially now that orders are sort of like pouring in. So your day to day looks like what?
So right now, my wake up hour is 4 o'clock. So I'm up at 4 in the mornings.
Oh boy.
And then I usually am in the office from about 4 to whenever they wake up, which is usually like right now for the summertime, they've been sleeping in a little more. So for 4 to about 7, 8 is where they would kind of come down, and then I'd have to pause everything and get them, situated. Then now my mom comes over in the morning, so she'll either help me to make candles or help me, to do any other stuff that I have to get orders out while I kind of sit with them and get them situated. I
Okay.
also have another sister, a younger sister, that helps me with to keep them entertained while we're working,
Yeah.
um, so that they're not tangled in everything. But they're pretty much really tangled in everything. But she keeps them out of trouble while we're working.
Oh.
And then so after that, mostly I'll be either packing orders or taking calls, doing customer stuff. I also have two other ladies that helps me like with customer service and stuff. So I don't always have to be stuck to the computer. So
Yeah.
they'll handle stuff like that for me. Um, but my day's pretty much starts at like 4 in the morning, and I could be up until like 12 at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And as your business grows, what's like your plan for Natural Annie Essentials? Like, what's the plan for it?
So the number one thing on my list as we're growing is to get out of the house. So that's the next step, to find a bigger space that we could work out of, a dedicated space that we could work
Oh,
out
like a
of.
shop?
Not a shop, more like a warehouse, to where we could, just put everything there. We make there, we pack from there, we ship from there, everything.
Oh, okay.
Just to move it all out. So that way I can have somewhat of a slightly better balance, that I'm not either working all the time or, stuff like that.
Yes.
But I'll also be able to hire more people, because right now I'm working from home. I
From home.
obviously can't have everybody working in my
No, you
house.
can't. Yeah.
No, especially COVID right now, it's not happening.
Yeah, I
So
mean the
that
kids around also having strangers in every day is a bit iffy.
no, yeah, yeah. So we are so that's primary on the list. We're actively looking for a bigger space where we could move everything into and work.
Oh, okay. And you have like a timeline for that goal? Let's say this year, next year, the other year?
I'm looking how I've my goal is to be into a warehouse by the end of the year, at least by the end of the year.
Oh, okay. Well, I wish
Yeah.
very much success in that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So you said you wake up at 4 o'clock. What time do you sleep? That
I'm
laughter
usually
is never good.
like never good. If it's a really crazy hectic day, poorly, I'll be in bed around 12 at night.
Oh
Um,
boy.
and some days I try to cut it off at like 9 o'clock. If I'm like really, really burned, I'll probably fall asleep way before that. But what I've been trying to do is take naps
Yes,
throughout
about
the
to ask
day as I
that.
need them. Yeah,
Yeah.
I personally don't like naps because I feel like when I take naps, I wake up and I'm way more tired than
Yeah. Then
than
you
I
don't even sleep
was.
as long at night.
Yeah, but I feel it's a part of the growing pains right now, and I know it's not good, it's not healthy, but it's something that I have to do to get to the next level.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I am never afraid of work, and I will put that work in wherever I need to. Just until I can, have a better system in place.
Okay. And in terms of like eating and taking care of yourself, because sometimes you sleep at midnight and wake up at 4 o'clock. You look at that 4 hours. So like, do you remember to eat sometimes? And I like
I eat. I'll eat. I'll eat.
priorities.
Oh no, I know when I'm hungry. That's for sure. I eat. But I do make sure to remember me. As much as it's crazy, I have to remember, because if I'm still not in the right mindset, it's still not gonna happen. I'm not my best if I'm not in the right mindset. So I try to stay focused in that I take care of me as much as I don't get enough sleep. But I do other little things that kind of relaxes me. So throughout the day, if I'm not able to sleep, I'll probably sit and watch an episode of my favorite TV show. That
Which
for
is?
me,
Which is?
right now, what's the name of this? What is it? Ozark? So my husband is really trying to get me to watch Ozark, and I'm having the hardest time, but I'm really trying to do it because it just takes my mind off work.
Yeah.
So I'm lagging my way through Ozark right now. But that helps me to relax. I mean, for everyone it's so different. I would rather watch an episode of show than probably take a nap, because it takes my mind off work, and I could get up weird enough feeling kind of refreshed for at least,
Okay.
for the next hour or so.
Okay.
So
What of
so
like?
that helps.
Oh, you can continue.
No, I was saying that helps. That helps me.
Okay. Okay. So do you
Yeah.
like take off days or breaks or like you take next Sunday off or Saturday to go out to the family. Okay, nobody's going out anytime soon, but like to just
No.
spend with the family, not
So,
working.
well, since June, I've taken probably one afternoon off. It's
The
bad,
hell?
but yeah, and that was Father's Day. We took the afternoon off,
Oh Jesus.
and usually I would be by, like, we would all like, me and my parents were really close, so we usually always by my parents' house. But now they're always here, you know. So we're still together. We have fun, and it's not like we're just here lugging away and stressing. We do have a really good time when we're working. So we could, like, what was it, like last week we had a whole day where we were wicking jars. It was like literally just wicking jars all day. So we had pretty much like a cookout. My cousin was here. He's always grilling. So we had jerk chicken going. We had drinks. We were wicking jars. We had some. So it was like a nice little party. But we're still getting stuff done. We're still getting stuff done.
You're still
You
working
know,
though.
we're still working, but we're having a good time. We're having a good time because it's just what we have to do right now
Yeah.
to stay on top of things. I feel like over the years I've been working to see my business kind of take an upward turn, and we're at that point now where
Yeah.
it's going in the right direction. So I have to make sure that we're doing all the things to keep on that path and to kind of,
Yes,
you know,
yes, yes.
grow with it, to grow
Okay.
with it.
So are there any softwares or systems or processes you use for managing your business?
Yeah, so we primarily, our website is based on Shopify. Shopify hosts our shop, and that comes with a lot of, you know, different apps that we use in Shopify. Also, another a program that I use every single day is Trello. And what that does, it helps me to delegate tasks to members of my team. So everybody kind of knows what they're doing every day. So that makes that process, you know, much easier. We also use Canva. I also use Canva a lot for all like my design stuff,
Yeah.
email marketing. Canva is also something that I use daily, along with Mailchimp for email marketing.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. So technically, you are working with your parents and your family, and whenever you guys like have a conflict that will affect the actual work going on, how is that
Yeah.
working out for you?
Crossing fingers, so far so good. We haven't bumped heads too much just yet. I and it's a big learning process for me. I've realized how terrible I am at managing people. I've never had to do it before. And I'll give them a task, and I'm like, okay, I expect you to figure it out. Like, no, I have to tell them how to do it, because in my head I'm always doing it. So I in my head I'm like, okay, you should be able to figure that out, but
Yeah, it's not that
that's not the
hard.
case. No, it's not the case. So I am learning how terrible of a leader I was, and so I'm.
She's
And
telling
the
about
good thing
yourself.
is, yeah, and the good thing is they're not afraid to point it out, and I just have to step back. I've been learning and growing from it, because this is only the start of it. So it's a great time for me to learn, you know, how to how to work with others, and to make their lives easier so they can make my life easier. So it's been good so far. They listen.
Ish.
They listen. Ish.
Yeah, so that coming.
Yeah. So yeah, so we're working through it, but so far so good. They've been pretty good so far.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna always be like that. But so far, cross fingers and toes, it's been good so far.
Yeah. And are there like times in which like they are like, oh my God, Annie, enough about candles. Just let's talk about something else. Are there times
Um,
like that?
Actually, not yet. It's the opposite, where because we have nights where we have been pouring candles till like 11, 10 at night. And I'm like, okay, guys, I'm drained. Can you leave now? my
Yeah.
mom, she, my mom, she, like, I feel like it's a family thing where we can work. We will work around the clock, and she will go to work. She will come back. She will work here, and she will just keep going. I'm like, Mom, you kind of need
Go
to take a
rest
break.
a
She's
bit.
like, okay, I'm fine. Yeah, go rest. Like, and she's like, let me just finish this one back. I'm like, no, you will not. I'm gonna turn the lights off, and you have to go. You have to go. I am
Yeah.
tired. I need to sleep. Just leave. And my dad would be half asleep over there, like, yeah, I've been trying
Yeah,
to,
he's
you know,
probably sleeping.
get her to leave. He's ready to go. But she's just like going and going and going. But so far they have been enjoying it. It's still fairly new to them. They know kind of what I've done all this time, but they've never been actively so
Yeah.
involved in it. So they're still having a good time. They're still having a good
Yeah.
time with it.
So now that they've actually made candles for themselves, they sort of like appreciate the amount of work and effort it takes for you to actually ship this out constantly. So yay.
Yeah, yeah, yep. They're seeing it all. They're seeing it all.
Oh yeah, congrats.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
So prior to them like actually spending time with you almost every day, prior to this COVID and the shift and them actually like spending time with well helping you with the business because now it's all hands on deck and it's not like you
Hmm.
can just go bring in a stranger to come work in your house for you.
Yeah.
So prior to this shift, and did you have any like a misconception of what exactly you did?
Oh, my family?
Yeah.
They knew I was working all the time. They knew I was always tired, but they never, I don't think they understood to the degree of how much kind of went into it. And now they know. Now they know. Yeah, now they know.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Oh, are there any questions you wish I should have asked? 'Cause I've asked most of the questions in my head.
Um, no, just like I have like a lot of young or upcoming entrepreneurs who will say, well, how do you balance all of this, or how do you do it all? And I tell people, I don't feel like I have a process. I don't feel like I balance it all.
You
Things
sleep.
not
You sleep at 12
there's
midnight. You're not balancing
yeah,
it all.
no, I am not balancing anything. I'm literally just juggling.
Yeah.
I'm doing things that need to be done, and it's just a matter of priority, as to, what you're getting done. It's just a matter of priority. My workflow is totally probably different from someone else's workflow. So go with what works for you, and prioritize as it fits into your life, because we are all very different. But
Yeah.
I mean, once you have that business, once you have a goal for that business, you can make it work. You definitely can make it work. And I wish for me, I'd asked for help way sooner. Because that's one of the things as an entrepreneur, you feel like, okay, I'm an entrepreneur, I should be doing all these things by myself. I'm so great. No,
Yeah.
you can't be very great if you're trying to do everything by yourself. It won't all work out to be great. So get help as soon as you can where you need it, and do the right thing. Work for it. Like, it doesn't success for everybody doesn't happen overnight. For me, it sure doesn't. I'm still working towards my goals, but there comes a point in your business where you will see a transition. So just be ready. Keep at it, even when you feel like you're failing, absolutely failing. Just keep plugging away at it. Believe in yourself and keep plugging away at it.
Yay! I get it. So, for anyone who
It
wants to buy your
is. It's
candles, like your website and how the orders work.
So, to purchase candles, we have my home website, NaturalAnnieEssentials.com, and we do sell to small boutiques around the country, and we're in over 200 boutiques,
Woo!
and the list is growing every day. Thank you. So you may be able to get something locally, and we do have a list on the website that lists by state all the shops that carry our candles. So, but if you want to definitely support, we are NaturalAnnieEssentials.com. That's the website. Also I'm very active on Instagram. We like to show a lot of behind the scene. You'll see all our family members working.
Yeah,
See them
following you right
all
now.
working. Yeah, they're all there working, we're doing all the things. So we like to share that fun stuff. So yeah, NaturalAnnieEssentials.com, and on Instagram we are at NaturalAnnieEssentials.
Found you. Da da da
You
da
found it?
da da da.
There you go. And you
So,
scroll down a few, you'll see my daughter in a box, or somebody riding a bike in the garage.
yeah,
We're
Tiffany.
making. Yes, that's Tiffany.
She's on my
Probably
box.
riding a bike. Talia, she's always in the box with the peanuts.
Oh,
That's
so
where she likes to
cute.
chill. So yeah, those are my babies. And here
Oh,
comes the little one. Hi, mama.
hi.
Say hi.
Hi. So
And
cute.
everybody is up.
Yeah.
Say
Oh, yes.
hi.
Hi.
Sweet. Say hi.
Hi.
Hey,
Oh
Papa.
my god.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you. I can still hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Okay. That's all the questions I had. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Great. That was fun.
Yeah. Do you want to add anything before we close up?
I think we kind of touched on everything. So we're good.
Okay.
We're good. Say bye.
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 You're like a third
This
person
is
in there.
yeah. So this is yes. So this is Tiffany. This
Hi,
is Tiffany. This is my nephew Romani,
Hi, Romani.
and they've officially taken over the office.
Yes, they have.
They're like, it's my time. It's my time. All right. So thank you so much for having me on. It was an honor sharing my journey and story with you.
It's nice to hear it.
Yes, thank you so much.
Oh my God,
so
thanks. Bye.
Bye, my dear. So we'll talk, and I'll look out for your email after.
Yes.
All right.